America, land of the free, home of the brave. A land that is always changing, always growing, and hopes to reach the American dream.
Studies out today that draw the same disturbing conclusion. Americans are not winning their battle against obesity.
Now, a new poll shows the opposite. More than half of Americans, including big majorities of blacks and Hispanics, think the president is a racist.
C News Special Report.
We are not unique, and America is
not the greatest country in the world, Professor. That's my answer.
You're saying...
Yes.
Let's talk about...
Fine. Sharon, the NEA is a loser. Yeah, it accounts for a penny out of our paycheck, but he gets to hit you with it anytime he wants. It doesn't cost money. It costs votes. It costs airtime and column inches. You know why people don't like liberals? Because they lose. If liberals are so fucking smart, how come they lose so goddamn always?
Hey.
And with a straight face, you're going to tell students that America is so star-spangled awesome that we're the only ones in the world who have freedom? Canada has freedom. Japan has freedom. The UK, France, Italy, Germany, Spain, Australia, Belgium has freedom. So 207 sovereign states in the world, like 180 of them have freedom.
All right.
And yeah, you, sorority girl, just in case you accidentally wander into a voting booth one day, there's some things you should know. And one of them is, there is absolutely no evidence to support the statement that we're the greatest country in the world. We're 7th in literacy, 27th in math, 22nd in science, 49th in life expectancy, 178th in infant mortality, 3rd in median household income, number 4 in labor force, and number 4 in exports. We lead the world in only 3 categories: number of incarcerated citizens per capita, number of adults who believe angels are real, and defense spending, where we spend more than the next 26 countries combined, 25 of whom are allies.
America, land of the ununique, home of the copycats.
America is so star-spangled awesome that we're the only ones in the world who have freedom. Canada has freedom. Japan has freedom. The UK, France, Italy, Germany, Spain, Australia, Belgium has freedom. So 207 sovereign states in the world, like 180 of them have freedom.
Currently, I'm a high school teacher at Jackson High School, Everett School District, Washington State. I've been here doing this at Jackson for 18 years. Part of that 18 years, I was also an active reservist in the Navy, so from time to time I go do Navy stuff. The first 4 years I was active duty, which meant I'm 24/7 a sailor. We stopped off in the Philippines, Singapore, Sri Lanka, Karachi, Pakistan, Bahrain, Dubai. On the way home, we went to Australia, Samoa. You get a rundown on the do's and don'ts before you go into any port. Singapore's the strictest. Don't spit on the sidewalk. Don't chew gum. Don't jaywalk. As far as, I'm trying to think, Australia, don't get in trouble.
Like in places like Australia and other places that you were like able to like go into port and like be able to see like the country a little bit, would you say that they like have similar laws to that we have in America, like basic rights, like maybe civil rights or basic liberties such as freedom of speech or others?
Australia, yes.
This interview helps to show how America is not all that different from other nations such as Australia and Britain, where freedom is just the same as over here in America.
I'm the senior pastor here. I've been the pastor here for 25 years and really enjoy ministry here.
So do you believe that like with other nations, like I know Canada has it, Australia, just some general broad nations, do you believe with them having similar liberties to us, do you believe that we're still unique in the sense that we have this basic right to like pursue religion?
Yeah, some of the difference between Canada, Australia, and some of those other that have a lot of freedom of religion, they oftentimes will have state religions. We don't have a state religion, so I love the fact that we have a variety in our sharing together. But we also, in our foundation is Christianity. That's where most of our morals came from, where most of our stuff comes from. So I think we're unique in that when we started, we did it because we want to, and people go to church because they want to go to church, and they seek God because they want to seek God. They're not made to seek God.
This interview helps to highlight some senses of America that are unique, but it also helps to highlight aspects of America that are not unique, such as freedom of religion, in which there are multiple different nations across the world that have similar freedoms that were founded before ours.
I've had a chance to travel a little bit, and of course there's always news that I pick up. But I think that comparing our ability here as a Christian, we are not usually mocked for what we believe. Other people might disagree, might argue with us, but we're not usually mocked or persecuted. We might feel ostracized, but honestly, someone might say something against us, but they'll say things against everybody that doesn't have their same belief.
In similar fashion to the last interview, this interview was able to help highlight aspects of America that were unique, but it also helped to show aspects of America that were not unique, once again this being freedom of religion. Admittedly, the argument can be made that America is unique for many things that it has, and one such argument is made by Green Beret Special Forces Tom Hendrickson.
Well, the military, well, that's a long time ago, 50 years ago. Yeah, I was drafted and went in, did the usual basic AIT. After that, I volunteered for airborne training, jump school, and became paratrooper. And while I was in there was a call out for special forces, which was relatively new in those days. And so I thought I'd give that a try. So I signed up for special forces and wound up getting in that, and then went through the training there. And pretty much that was it. I didn't get deployed because, well, for one thing, I wasn't in long enough. But the Vietnam.
Just like, do you believe that America is unique in the way that we sort of like have our freedoms and our basic liberties and such like that?
Absolutely. I think the Constitution is pure genius. And I think with the way the founding fathers put this country together with the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence is absolute genius. It's the best operating. It isn't perfect. There's a number of things wrong, but it's still the best political system in the world by far. By far, you can't name one that even comes close. And you can see how wealthy this country is. So I look at our political system, I look at our economic system, and we are able to do the things we can do. It's not perfect. There are things, there are inequalities, of course, but it's still the best. There aren't any perfect system. But what it's allowed us to do is, if you go back in history, it's allowed us to help other countries whenever they have problems. And, in the wars for the last 100 years, when Germany was in trouble, when the Germans tried to take over, we were there to help, stop that. And then in the Second World War, same thing. We were there to help the Europeans. And not only did we help them, after the war was over, we rebuilt Germany. We didn't hold them hostage. We rebuilt them. And we did the same with Japan. We had to take them down because they were nasty, nasty people in both those countries, but there are good people there too, They didn't like what was going on, so we could do that. And the reason we could do it is because of our economic system. So once we put ourselves in gear, you look at the ships that we built, one a day. Planes are coming off the factory lines. There were at least 2, 3, or 4 a day. I mean, we were something, a manufacturing behemoth,
Yeah.
And again, it's because of our economic system. You can't do that in socialism. You just don't have the power. You don't have the money. But we do. So, and then not only are we helping with that, but then you notice that if there's any kind of catastrophe around the world, we're there to help. We've always got aid. We show up with aid, clothing and medicine, or people, or National Guard, or whatever it takes to help people who have, earthquakes or any kind of flooding, national disaster. We're always there.
Interview with Tom Hendrickson helped to prove how America is unique in some ways. However, it failed to prove how America is unique in the ways of religious freedom, economic systems, and our basic liberties.
I find a lot of similarities between the economies of the US and Australia, the UK. Yes, there's a lot of similarities between our countries. I would say it's very, very similar in our current state of our economy. Yes, we are able to, mothers have children, raise the kids, and then go back to a similar job, and I think that happens all over, not just the US. I think you would find a lot of similarities between the US economy and UK, Australia, Great Britain. Yeah, a lot of similarities.
So, America may not be the most unique or the best nation in the world. But why not make it the best nation in the world? The most unique nation in the world. A nation that others strive to be. A nation that others copy. To take ideas from, to use them to improve their own nation.